Hey everybody, Matthew Hollis here with 365 Films. Basically what I do is I watch and review a film a day for 365 days. So today is day 38 and the film that I'm reviewing is Talladega Nights. Talladega Nights is basically a film that takes place in 2006 and it stars Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, and Sacha Baron Cohen as NASCAR drivers and is directed by Adam McKay. And this film really came 2 years right after the huge success and hit of Anchorman. And this film really is just like Anchorman as far as an improv comedy film goes. And it has a lot of the same aspects that Anchorman had as well, where, you know, it's just a lot of sometimes people just standing around throwing jokes at each other, seeing what sticks. And all the cast looked like they had such a fun time making this film. And I really can't believe that this film's already 10 years old this year. It's kind of crazy that this film came out in 2006 already. I mean, time flies by and this film really aged really well, I would say. I mean, if you grew up, you know, either watching NASCAR or you knew somebody that liked or watched NASCAR. My father used to be an auto mechanic, so he used to watch NASCAR all the time. Now he doesn't watch it at all anymore, but when this film came out, he did. And so I grew up kind of watching NASCAR, and I'm not really a fan of NASCAR. I never really have been, but there's some jokes in this film that really are kind of towards people that have seen NASCAR, that at least know a little bit about NASCAR and how it works. I mean, it is just cars racing around a track. Don't get offended if you like NASCAR. That's just what it is. But it's still a really interesting sport, and this film kind of encapsulates what NASCAR is all about, and it's really about like kind of like I don't want to say like southern or rednecks type stuff, but both Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly really play into that. And basically the synopsis of this film is Will Ferrell's character Ricky Bobby is born, and he's actually born in the back of a Chevelle. Like his father hits the brakes and like he falls, he comes out of his mom. It's a really weird, interesting film, and obviously this film really is kind of like a lot of comedies nowadays, and I feel like it came out obviously in the heyday of Will Ferrell when he was really in his prime, in my opinion. The last few films that he's come out with haven't really been that great, but Talladega Nights, rewatching it, really gave me joy because I actually remember seeing this film. I actually saw it at a drive-in theater. It was the first time I ever went to a drive-in theater 10 years ago and saw Talladega Nights. So it brings back good memories for me of going and seeing this film at a drive-in, and the whole film really is kind of goofy and stupid, and that's okay. It's meant to be dumb. I mean, it's a dumb film. But basically what happens is Ricky Bobby's on the top of NASCAR. He just is winning races, and then a Formula One driver shows up that, you know, Sacha Baron Cohen plays, the guy that plays Borat and stuff. And he does an excellent job in this film, as he always does in many films. I mean, he pretty much becomes whatever character he is. And he does an incredible job as a Frenchman in this, a gay Frenchman in this film, which is pretty much the exact opposite of what, you know, American straight NASCAR is all about, right? And so he really goes in and starts winning races, and Ricky Bobby really starts to like lose his head and shit like that. And it's kind of obviously, you know, to play in a jokes, a bunch of dumb stuff happens. Like he gets stabbed and he doesn't think he can walk or something after a huge crash that he's in and stuff like that. I don't want to ruin any of the jokes. If you guys actually haven't seen Talladega Nights, I recommend you watch it. It's a goofy, dumb comedy, but it's one of the better ones. It's one of the better kind of, you know, stand around improv comedies. I prefer comedies that really are like The Big Lebowski or something like that, that actually really have a story around what they're doing and really isn't just standing in front of a bunch of guys standing around throwing jokes at each other and seeing what sticks. But back in the early 2000s, that was the main type of comedy that was being made. And still to this day, I believe actually that most of the comedies that come out nowadays are still exactly that type of comedy. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for listening to my Talladega Nights review. I recommend you guys watch it if you haven't seen it. It is funny, and I did laugh quite a bit watching it, even though it's, you know, been 10 years. It still makes me laugh. So appreciate you guys so much. I'll have another review for you guys tomorrow. Don't know which film yet. As always, you can recommend films to me by sending me a message on Facebook or posting under this video, facebook.com/galv, GHALV. Once again, appreciate you guys, and I'll have another review for you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much.